example number 2 for tonight's homework. We have our word problem that we need to show in an equation in a strip diagram. There are 593 balloons on the dartboard at the carnival. The kids pop 257 balloons. So we think, okay, we have balloons on the dartboard. Some of them have been popped. So we should be thinking to ourselves, do we still have those balloons there? No, they've been popped. How many balloons were still left on the dartboard? So I boxed in my keyword left. We want to know how many still remain. So I take a look at my keywords. I know that I'm going to use subtraction. We have our total number of balloons that were there in the beginning. Some were popped and no longer there. We want to find out how much is still left. So when we show that in our strip diagram, we already know the total. This was as many balloons as there ever were going to be on that dartboard. We know the total. We had 593. Of this total, we know some of them popped. So I'm going to make my part, some of them popped, 257. So this visual is telling me I need to still figure out here how many balloons still remain. I'm missing this piece. So when we see how many are left, we know that we're going to subtract from our total. We have 593 balloons, 257 were popped. We want to find out how many are still on the dartboard. So we're going to go ahead and line up our subtraction problem. We're going to start at our ones place value to subtract. And here we cannot take away. We cannot have 3 minus 7. I don't have enough. I'm going to go next door. Here in this tens place, I do have enough, so I'm going to stop right here. Well, if this 9 is giving 1 over to this next place, I have an 8. This 3 is getting 10 more, so it's now a 13. So 13 minus 7 is 6. 8 minus 5 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, so 336. I'm going to plug that back in. I'm going to ask myself, does this make sense? If I started out with a total of 593, 257 popped, that means I still have 336 still there. Well, I think that's my answer, but I did have to borrow. I am using large numbers. I want to be sure that my answer is correct. So I'm going to star my answer. Just like this strip diagram indicates, this means this piece plus this piece is this total. Well, I want to prove that. We can prove that by using the inverse operation of subtraction, which is addition. We can take these two numbers, which are represented here, and see if we get our total. So if we have 336 plus 257, well, 6 plus 7 is 13. 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we did subtract correctly. We got back up to our total. This part and this part was our total. So the number of balloons that still remain is 330.